Welcome back to CH4K, and this is Total War Warhammer 3. Some guy's name I cannot pronounce, the Maggot Lord. So, full disclosure, I have not played Nurgle. I don't think even once. So, this is basically someone who's never played Nurgle, taking a look at the new Nurgle Lord with the new gameplay updates and the new, everything. Before we continue, I would just like to say, I'm not going to do it like I usually do it, where I introduce it, then I show it, then talk about it. I'm just going to play it and talk about it because it's like 11 minutes. And I don't want you guys to sit here for 11 minutes. Plus me talking, so it's probably better if I just do the whole thing in one big go. And one last thing before we begin good and proper. If you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That'd be most appreciated. So every subscriber helps. Thank you.
Tanky, disgusting, inevitable.
Look at him. He's glorious. Tamakan offers the fantasy of building a warband from scratch. Good work, Kask. I couldn't ask for a better right-hand thing. Of building a...
Alright, let's look at this. Played, aligned, committed, and devoted. Okay, pledge, okay.
Warband from scratch.
Alright, so fealty, that means how much they're going to support you in battle. Alright, that's cool. Alright.
Good work, Kask. I couldn't ask for a better right-hand thing.
But he also has these kind of Nurgle.
Warband from scratch.
Unlocks Nurgle. Yeah. Okay. Nice little...
Good work, Kask. I couldn't ask for a better right-hand thing.
Progression
But
of
he also
abilities.
has these kind of Nurgle abilities, which make him really disgusting and awesome.
Tamakan, the Maggot Lord's reeking corpse, has puppeted many powerful and grotesque faces, but none have served him quite like Karaka Break Mountain. It is in this ogre tyrant's decaying flesh that Tamakan seeks to gather a great horde and fulfill a twisted prophecy of disease and desolation. Delusions of grandeur and questionable hygiene, my kind of legendary lord. We're diving into Tamakan's Immortal Empires campaign with ambitions of painting the world green as Nurgle's favoured. We're kicking off in Kudatha, smack bang in the middle of the Northern Chaos Waste, and we're already running into some angry Norskans. Must be the smell. I'd apologise, but I'm not sorry. Because what's there to be sorry about? Look at him. He's glorious. A solid set of starting abilities makes Tamakan...
I had a feeling an ability would come out. Nurgle's favorite son. Melee defense, damage resistance. That's always a nice ability to have. It doesn't look like it's an area effect. It looks like it's just for him. That's still good. Maybe it's a cast... maybe it's a casting ability? I'm not sure.
A formidable putrid melee force. Feast of the Maggot Lord is particularly interesting to me because popping back up after dark...
Okay, enemy.
Trying to surprise and harass the enemy general, well, it's just good fun. Coupled with the Maggot Lord trait and a -3 to wound recovery time, and you'll...
Son. That's fine for non-demonic units. So this would be
Looking
good
at
for
a playstyle
armies
that
that use
speaks
a
to my
lot
soul.
of marauders.
Reckless, disgusting chaos. We'll learn more about Tamakan's infection.
It'll be good for armies that use that ability. Be good for armies that use just marauders.
Inspiration soon, but for now, we've got a garden to build.
Maybe other human units too.
So we'll construct some weeping creepers for the bonus to growth.
But then again, you don't have to do anything like that. Like there's certain abilities that are good for a certain class of unit, but not every lord, or not everyone who takes that particular lord uses that ability. I guess an example of that would probably be something like from the Greenskins, like +4 to goblins. And not everybody uses goblins, and so you might just go with orcs instead. And while you won't get the +4, still pretty good. However, if you have a unit that uses multiple buffs to that specific class of unit, then you might as well go ahead and just use that. Like Ground the Punch is an example. Like he uses a stupid amount of bonuses to goblins. You might as well just use goblins in your army. going forward with him.
Worth noting here as part
Yeah.
to build, so we'll construct some weeping creepers
Okay, increase recruitment.
soon, but for now we've got a garden to build, so
Yeah, recruitment. Yeah, okay.
we'll construct some weeping creepers for the bonus.
But yeah, more on Grom the Punch. You can use orcs with Grom, but Grom uses goblins better in his army. Like, you can have other armies with under the Grom the Punch flag that work for you, but they're still going. You still may want to use goblins, but it depends. Depends. If you find a strong orc army with a strong orc leader, might work better. I said orc a lot.
To growth. Worth noting here, as part of the Nurgle alterations, only military buildings now feature the cycle mechanic to address player feedback that it wasn't great for Nurgle's economy. For an in-depth dive into the changes, check out the links below to read the blog. Much like a garden,
I recommend the blog.
war economy relies on stability and an inexhaustible supply of fertilizer. And with that in mind, let's go beat the fertilizer out of these Norscars.
Tamakan's whole inspiration was the Throne of Chaos novel. The DLC is even named after it in Throne of Decay. And in that, he builds this huge warband to try to destroy the Empire. And this time, maybe you can make him a bit more successful.
He comes with all these really exciting units that I think Nurgle players have been dying to get their hands on.
I think this is a good spot for them because they can fight in an area where because the Empire units are basic enemy unit, or is a basic unit format. But they use a lot of firearms, I should say. Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely going to fill some holes in that roster. Tamakan is a really tanky character who has a lot of weapon strength that he can bring to bear against single targets. Where he kind of falls down is when he's surrounded by many other kind of smaller targets that deal anti-large damage, or when he's shot at from a distance.
Okay.
The Nurgle tech tree has been rebuilt from the ground up. Currently, it's all about
He's basically every other large unit. That's alright.
Kugas Realms of Chaos experience, where we wanted it to be more dynamic, that works for every Nurgle character. We reworked elements of the Nurgle feat.
Some nice bonuses there. Great on clean one.
Just set because we thought the theme was there, but maybe it just needed to be dialed up to 11. We designed Tamakan to be this big bruiser beatstick. Swapping bodies feels like it loses a little bit of that fantasy for how we'd envisioned him, and the chieftains kind of carry where he can't quite handle himself.
Good work, Kask. I couldn't ask for a better right-hand thing. Okay, our garden's growing nicely, we're pushing into the blood marshes, and our liquefying mouth plague is ravaging the withering fortress. That's a tongue twister. As part of the Nurgle changes, we've addressed feedback that should make plagues more experimental and less min-maxy, so you feel like a real pox brewer. Unfortunately for us, I don't have enough infections right now. Dang. Actually, doesn't matter. Our latest conquest has put us in a position to recruit new hideous help.
Okay, so that was pretty good. Like a nice little chain link map.
I don't have enough infections right.
Instead of having it done the other way.
Chieftains are a ragtag band of bile and boils, lord to the master. Tamakan's chieftains are a ragtag band of bile and boils, lord to the master of hosts' undeniable dominance.
Much better than
These festering heroes join our cause.
I like the hand here. I like the graphic on that. Looks nice.
Kask the Befouled, Nurgle's legendary hero, has already embedded himself in our army and offers powerful units.
So he's the startup one.
In exchange for a cost of dominance, which is earned through battles and events.
Chariots are always nice, especially I'm starting to get a newfound appreciation for chariots. They're not as fast as regular cavalry, but they do a little bit more damage when they slam into something. If you set up chariots right, they can be even more effective than most cavalry.
Our conflict with the Norscan curse
Depends on the
has
situation.
Kask's continuous loyalty, in turn unlocking additional boons and powerful campaign abilities.
Plus, Nurgle was always a slow race. I say slow. Yeah, a slow race. Let's just call it a race for now. We don't have to call it like anything else besides that. It was always a slow one because... Oh, well, faction. Sorry. We'll call it slow faction.
Joining Kask is Kargan the Crazed.
So cavalry and... what you call it? Chariots will help it out a lot.
That Fimdarat. Mornhow, Grokma Freehorn, and Azar Doom.
It's some nice.
All here.
That's a nice.
Heroes with their own merits.
Nice little mix. Defeating Skaven, Greenskins, or Dwarfs. Okay, you gain Chieftain Field by looting settlements. What does the other one say? Purchasing Chieftain units. Alright, raising settlements. Yes! I kind of like this. So it's sort of, I won't say pigeonholes you, but forces you down a path of activity in your campaigns to get these chieftains. That's a good idea.
Doombolt.
Give yourselves a round of
with their own
applause.
merits, and we'll need to call on each of them to build our unending host. With their own petty grievances to satisfy, Tamakan's chieftains will influence the flow of our campaign, but earning their ultimate devotion will be a bloody affair, though well worth the effort. More chieftains info shortly, but for now, I spy with my decaying eye Skaven ruins to the south, and, if I know my immortal empire's geography, we can expect Boris's Kislevites beyond the blood marshes. Skaven or Kislev, Ezar or Kargan. We'll get to both eventually, and Kargan's hell cannons are tempting, but the coward in me is crying out for some better ranged units. Let's recruit Ezar Doombolt into our merry band and use our remaining dominance to purchase a unit of Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses. With some angry dwarven engineering behind us, we'll make short work of the inferior war host. Short work. I'm sorry.
I'm super excited for the Chieftain's mechanic because it allows you to build a bit of a bonkers brigade. Lots of different flavors of chaos all under the Nurgle banner. It was inspired by his story, which was uniting different tribes of chaos and flavors of chaos, so we thought it was important.
That's an interesting. That's an interesting way to do it.
Brings to the game.
Tamakan's campaign playstyle has him roaming around
Giving
the
you nice unique
Warhammer
units
map
to play
and
with
bringing all these different cultures
from
and
different
throwing them
factions.
into chieftains. And in battle, these chieftains augment Tamakan's own abilities to smash up enemy armies and cause a lot of devastation.
Okay, Rot Knights and Chaos Lord Nurgle. Okay. Not bad.
Tamakan at his core is still a Nurgle faction. The extra units from different rosters are unique even from some of the ones we've done before, so no one's ever had access to Chaos Dwarves mixed with Nurgle. The Chieftain mechanic is about gaining the fealty of the other flavors of Chaos, getting the best of them and making the ultimate war host. Oh, Kask's by far my favourite. He's got Toad Dragons, what's not to love?
Toad Dragons, the perfect remedy for backstabbing Grimgore. Whilst we were busy with Boris, Mr. Ironhide trampled our garden, yet I'm struggling to be upset. Ezar don't much fancy your kind, and he's been positively popping with excitement and overflowing with fealty with each volley of his Doombolt. We've got dominance growing out of our boils, and we're going to use it to field a few Dreadquake mortars. I told you, Grimgore, we greenskins should stick together, but no. Look what you've made me do. Elsewhere, our Kislevites conflict has made Kargan crazed with love for Tamakan, so we'll activate his March of the Crazed ability to refill his army's campaign movement.
Interesting, you got chieftain abilities, that's good. Alright, completely refills campaign movement, okay.
Crazed ability to refill his army's campaign movement and begin the siege of Karak Vrag ahead of Tamakan's slow arrival. That's a lot of orcs, so we've split into 4 fronts. Kargan and our Chaos Lord are leading the main bulk, and across the way, we've got one small army and a pair of lonely siege engines. With Tamakan's reinforcements incoming, we've tricked Grimgore into leaving a section of his wall poorly defended. Our Plague Bearers are about to climb the walls, so we'll have our Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle give them a little something to take the edge off any nasty swords they might encounter. A touch of leprosy should do it.
Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle is a mortal spellcaster that brings the laws of death and the laws of Nurgle to the Nurgle roster in a nicely armoured package.
Death and Nurgle.
There he is. Tamakan
never
joins
played
the
around
party,
with the
so we'll
Nurgle
link our
before,
cavalry units
Death
up with the main
Lord's
bulk.
pretty solid.
When the gates are down, our Bile Trolls will be first through the breach.
I mean, it's better lores, of course, but yeah, it's a good lore.
Bile Trolls are a Nurgly twist on the idea of a Chaos Troll. They have this ability which allows them to debuff enemy melee defense, which allows all of your Nurgle units to really hit a lot more reliably.
That's pretty cool.
Walls mounted. Gates coming down. The plague can be slowed but never stopped. Who better to spread Nurgle's gift than Kask the Befouled?
Kask the Befouled is this kind of rotting champion of Nurgle. He rides a rot beast, you don't get him on foot. He's fast,
Rob
he's
Beast.
agile, he's really not what you'd expect from a Nurgle character, which makes him really interesting.
With chieftains in mind, I wonder how Kargan's doing. As you were, Kargan, good work. I'm gonna go play with the toad dragons.
The Toad Dragon is the big bad beastie for the Nurgle roster.
I see that.
It excels at dealing with large groups of infantry and smashing through the enemy battle lines.
That's a good addition to the forces.
Whilst Tamakan and the toad dragons break their lines, Azar and his blunderbusses mop up the stragglers, and we deploy some of our heaviest hitters.
The regiments of renown for Nurgle are the Rotting Riders, who are a unit of Rot Knights, the Angels of Decay, which are a unit of Plague Drones.
Again, cavalry. So the first one was cavalry. This one is air cavalry. Air cavalry is... I'm starting to get a newfound appreciation for air cavalry. Air cavalry solves a lot of problems. It knocks out problems that, like for instance, siege weapons. If I can get the main forces engaged with my main troops, I can send my flyers in to just mop up the siege engines.
And Noxbringer, who
With
is
little to nothing
their
to do.
Soul Grinder. My favourite out of these regiments of renown are the Rotting Riders.
These Kurgan horsemen have followed Kaisk since the beginning, but they were once esteemed knights. Reinforcements, eh? I think not.
A lot of good. It's a rough one for the Greenskins. Yeah, battles like this get out of hand rather quickly. There's multiple. Like this is to me when Total War is at its best. Not in cutscenes, obviously, but when you have like multiple units going at it, like a massive armies fighting each other in a siege map.
Buffet of orcs. More fertilizer for the
Deciding a major factions.
Our war host grows with our
Settlements.
ability and begs the question,
Is always
who
a
do we
cool one.
recruit next?
Don't know, bro. Might be that guy. Might be that guy. Oh. Oh, it might be that guy. Honestly, I think it's a good one.
First impressions? Favorite chieftain? Let us know in the comments below or follow our links to wishlist.
Looks solid. I like the design. I like the gameplay aspect of it. It seems pretty good. I mean, it could be better. I mean, we didn't really look at the rework too much, but we did look at the basics of it pretty closely. I mean, the rework, we had the Plague rework. I mean, I think that's probably the most important part of the rework. I think it's also the technology tree, but I feel like, you know, they can do that whenever. But the Plague rework was probably the most important one. I honestly thought it was a good introduction to the new Nurgle stuff, as well as getting us to want to buy the new Nurgle Lord and the new Nurgle pack. But it remains to be seen how good it is on launch. Like I said before, never pre-order anything because on launch day, lots of things can change. Lots of problems can come up that you didn't notice before. So, as always, be patient. Also, and as a side note, thanks for stopping by. It's really appreciated.